Want to see something today from Athletico, and to be honest, even though their season has not been great, I still think that this is a capable roster of players that should be able to take it to a team like Orders. Yes, maybe you're not going to come out with the win, Jordan, but you need to come away with something other than 0 maps by the end of today.
Yeah, before starting off well with a nice bit of damage through cleaving the hammer. Quats will go down. Good use of the bubbles there for Athletico, I thought. Whether they're going to be able to follow up on this, though. 1-for-1 trade. They've got less heals, Ben. They do have more damage.
Less heals, more damage, no tanks. So, the point now will unlock. It's going to be Athletico walking on, getting a couple of ticks, but nothing really, I suppose, to be talking about. Whilst Order is the team who comes through with picks onto players. Picks over ticks, Jordan, is what we're talking about. Now the ticks will be going Order's way. Yeah, well, I think for Athletico, they're really going to be saying send picks, because right now, even though they did get that initial pick onto the Reinhardt, it wasn't enough actually to push on through. At the end of the day, that fight lasted so long that both Goobs and Quats managed to get back into the fight, and that's when Order really just won the 6v6 again. The one thing to note there, of course, is Goobs that he has come across from Mindfreak. Aki departing the roster. Oh, DPL going to go down to Signed, and Athletico going to follow along in the same sort of vein there. Unfortunately for them, Order going to be up to 6 ultimates as well now, Jordan, by the time the next fight starts. Well, that's really beautiful for Order. Like, they didn't even have to throw any ults in there. That was so clean. Normally, in a fight like that, you'd expect maybe a grab or a shatter to go down. If it's only just the one, you're not expecting Athletico to use anything there. But in this case, Order doesn't even need to use any of those, so they're looking phenomenal right now. 50%. They've got the advantage ult economically speaking. Potential for a big grab to come through and make a difference here. Sound barrier coming up from Athletico. We saw the Earth Shatter come through also from 4. Looking for damage to follow through for now, though. Athletico still alive as they see that. Yes, Sign comes through. Not only is he great with bubbles, Jordan, but he's great with a bit of damage as well. You can see there another fight win going to Order, though they did invest everything they had other than Unter's sound barrier into that fight. Yeah, and that's okay, though, because Athletico also threw quite a bit in. No support ultimates for Athletico in this next coming fight. Atar and Zolt do have the combo available to them. We know Order generally is pretty good at avoiding getting taken down, and Unter's sound barrier will also be quite useful in dealing with the self-destruct. Quats does have Earth Shatter available, though, so if Athletico gets caught napping, it might be the fight over just then and there. Athletico throwing in the grab from Atar, looking to follow it up with a little bit of damage. Zol, the self-destruct. Deepfield, though, the first one to go down. Again, Signed, the one doing the damage here on the Zarya. Now up to 99%. Atletico forced them to the point to try and bring it back. Yes, they may swap it across, but if they do, it's only a matter of time. 2 players remain. They'll go down. The point going back to Order, as most likely will this round. I don't think it's even most likely at this point, Ben. It's 100% locked it in. Look, Jordan, last week I said it was going 2-1 to one team, and then they flipped it back and brought it around again, and I'm done doing that. All right, well... Why commit anymore? That is definitely a good start for Order. Not a great start for Athletico. I feel like I'm Captain Obvious right now. Yeah. But, I mean, what's more to be expected, really, out of Order, who now have had a few weeks to start getting this roster settled. You know, Jordation into that new role, Sign coming in as the hit scan DPS player. Where Athletico, they've also recently made a change. They haven't really been performing well to begin with. So it's always going to be sort of an almost insurmountable battle for Athletico, it feels like. And that, in essence, that control round kind of summed it up for me. Like, they had not even a single fight where it looked like they were going to win. There might have been maybe 2 or 3 kills total from Athletico onto Order. Yeah, it's definitely tough. Order having a pretty good season, to be fair, so far. It's just that we have to expect more from Athletico here, because they're running out of time to get some points on that scoreboard. Well, I don't know if it's expect or more so ask for. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I don't think we can expect more from Athletico right now. No, I think you're probably right. But they need to perform better than they are if they want to stay in Contenders. Well, Athletico going to lose that first fight. Sol gives us a bit of a view of the... I don't know, do you think they're holographic fish? I'm not sure. Holographic fish, maybe. Yeah. Down in the holographic koi pond. Well, why don't you jump in there and find out, Ben? Look, I'd be up for it. I think it'd be interesting. In a Diva mech. You could fly back up again, surely. If the short is to be believed. All right, another fight going to go on. You can see already up to 20% here for Order on the point. And Goob's the first one down once again. The rest of the team going to follow suit, Jordan. Looks like Sign threw in the grab there.
He did.
As well. Order now up to 32%.
I mean,
another good fight win for
only
them.
so much you could do there for Athletico, right? They literally didn't have a single defensive support ultimate. And this is what I'm talking about in the last control round where Order didn't even need that grab last time. This time they do invest it. I would argue they probably didn't need it, but Sign, he saw the opportunity, wants to get a big grab out.
He's like, I'm going to get another one anyway,
Can't complain.
You don't really want to sit on your ults the entire game. Rally's coming out for both teams. Quats holding back, waiting for an epic Earth Shatter attempt 4. I suppose in the same position. It's more important he hits his, however. It is crucial, vital, that he hits an Earth Shatter here.
Oh.
Double Earth Shatter, one from both sides, but D-Field goes down. Quats charges through 4. Picked up also. It looked, to be fair, like a decent Earth Shatter from 4. They're not able to follow up with the damage they require, and Order with another fight win now up to 75%, one away from making Li Zhang theirs.
Yeah, Quats just really made 4's life hellish there, didn't he? Like, he gets the shatter down around the shield, hits a couple of the Athletico players, and then swings the hammer, and 4 goes flying off the edge. Talk about losing to your counterpart. Well, that is it in essence. Athletico, though, do have a decent opportunity here with a few grabs, but Sign might just be able to grab them off the point.
Well, that's the potential. Looking to throw it in. No, not yet. The sound barrier coming through. He wants to wait until he knows the grab will last longer than the sound barrier does, and that's precisely how that plays out. Adam throwing in a self-destruct. Nice little hole in one there as well. And, well, the team kill comes through, as does the Order victory here on Li Zhang Tower. A very quick 2-0 for them, Jordan.
I'm not so sure really what I'm supposed to say about that one, Ben. Like, it was just Order absolutely dominating Athletico.
Yeah.
Everything they did was great. Everything Athletico tried to do, Order was set up perfectly to counter it. Fundamentals on point there for Order. Really not much more to say. It wasn't like there was this little instance of X or Y thing that kind of won them the fight.
Which is
that
hard,
tipped it over the
right?
line.
Like, yeah, and I want to be like, oh, at least we can look at this thing that Athletico did that was...
Yeah.
I don't...
Maybe we'll see something from them throughout the rest of the day. I mean, but for Athletico, it's obviously a tough ask in this particular matchup, as it would be for any team up against Order.
Absolutely. Like, literally the only team that we expect to beat Order in the regular season are the Drop Bears. And they've already done that. From here on out, you would think that Order should be able to pick up their win. Certainly based on, I suppose, previous games, that's for sure. But Sign, to be fair, doing pretty well in this lineup.
Yeah, most definitely, and that's kind of to be expected as well. I think Sign, you could put him in any lineup and he would do pretty well. Sort of throwing back to Athletico last season, where he played maybe 1 or 2 games, but did pretty well. The reason he wasn't as a core member in any roster last season is because he couldn't commit to going to the Grand Finals. But this season, obviously, he can commit to going to the Grand Finals, and there's a reason he's in one of the 2 best teams within the region. I guess in this sense, he's in the 2nd best team in the region. Let's just cut it out like that. But for Sign, you know, there's nowhere really that he shouldn't be that isn't in Order, or I guess you could argue almost maybe even in Sydney Drop Bears. If Huss didn't exist, probably Sign would be there.
Even when we saw Signed in the playoffs, I think he played for Heist. Who did he play for?
He played for Athletico in the playoffs.
Like, that was the game that really they looked their best in, to be honest, was when Sign was in that roster. So,
well, it's because the Xayah is such an important, integral part of this meta, and he's a very strong Xayah.
That last play as well, a pretty good play. Obviously, the 4 picks coming out from the self-destruct. I think the timing of the grab coming through, and then I think the charge as well, getting rid of the Reinhardt shield altogether. A great team play, though. It is easy to look good when you're currently outclassing your opponents.
That's very true.
We move across now to Kings Row. I want to see something here from this Athletico lineup. And look, I guess, to be fair, I don't want to write them off already. I'm not sure what their run for the rest of the season looks like. Even though this is week 4, if Athletico were to do well in weeks 5, 6, and 7, that would probably be enough to put them in the top 6.
I mean, I guess you could argue they've already faced Sydney Drop Bears last week. They are facing Order here.
Yeah.
The real hang-up for me is, like I said, the 2 matches that they should win are the ones against Legacy and Mindfreak, at the bare minimum.
Yep.
And they've already lost the one to Legacy. They still have Mindfreak to go, off the top of my head, but 1 win is not going to be enough, right? So they're going to need to find one elsewhere. I can't remember the last team that they have yet to face. It might be Ground Zero, in which case that's going to be a really tough ask, I think, for Athletico as well. Anyway, Order's going to start off on the attack here on King's Row. No surprises to see both teams rolling out with the standard GOATS composition. It hasn't worked for Athletico thus far. Order's always been better.
Yeah, well, that's the problem with GOATS, isn't it, Jordan? If one team's better than the other and you're doing mirror matches, there's not really any room for mistakes, is there?
Exactly. And the problem for Athletico is if they want to keep running this GOATS composition and they're going to keep running it against Order, it's already kind of a proven track record that Order is winning these fights very consistently, time and time again. We haven't really seen Order actually lose a fight yet.
Fine, please.
So for Athletico, it's kind of like running your head again into a brick wall.
Yeah. So what do you do then if you're Athletico here, Jordan? What do you do? Continue to play GOATS? Do you say, look, every other match we're going to play is GOATS, let's use this to get as good as we can on this?
I would say that
change it up.
That's probably the go. Look at this from side, just gets around the back.
Quad's
a very
the
nice
first
grab.
one down. Evie going to go down, so a 1-for-1 trade. Side finds the second. Look at this, just sitting up here, uncontested. Finally, Zol's going to come up through on the Diva. But as a Diva, what do you even do against a full power Zarya other than have your mech blow up, Jordan? What do you even do?
Yeah, absolutely. You just fall down and die, I guess, in a sense. Absolute domination really from Order there, isn't it? And to back to your previous point for Athletico, like, yeah, there's, I guess, a couple of trains of thought that you can go with, like, you do play it as a bit more of practice, see what your issues are and what's getting exploited, if you can look at it objectively like that, as opposed to saying, oh, we're just getting absolutely destroyed, this sucks, I hate my life, you know, I want to quit. It takes a special kind of person, I think, to be able to look at it objectively and say, okay, this is what we can learn from it.
Playing ranked with you, isn't it, Jordan? Let's be real.
Exactly. Or you have to go back onto, you know, some DPS compositions and just try your hand at that.
Order getting towards checkpoint B right now. Jordation with the Transcendence. And yes, a nice Earth Shatter coming through. 4 almost goes down. Saved by the sound barrier. Looking for more damage though. Quad's picked up and Zol coming through. 3 big picks. Finally, an Athletico fight win. I think that is the first of the series.
That's the first of the series. How much good it's going to do them though, Ben, I'm not so sure. 4 minutes and 6 seconds here for Order. Obviously a good sign for Athletico. It does mean, you know, that they can win fights against Order. It's not like this is going to be a complete whitewash, but you need to be able to do that consistently, Ben. And that is what we've been talking about all season long here in Overwatch Contenders. It's being able to win fights and play consistently.
Well, GOATS is about consistency, isn't it? Yep. You're literally playing the same exact lineup. So that's what we need to see. And let's see how Athletico goes. Now they have a little bit of an advantage. Earthshatter comes through. Jordation is going to be the only one knocked down. Transcendence is going to come out as well. Self-destruct from Adam. Looking for picks, not going to find anyone. Now Order's thrown quite a lot into this little fight. And with Quats going down, this could be difficult for them. Yetspores picked up. Goobs finds another. Athletico still with a bit of an advantage here. Order going to fall back. Yeah, very good Transcendence out from Goobs. And running, I think, was the tipping point there from D-Field. It comes up just a little bit quicker than Yuki's does, and then Yuki gets picked off before he can get his down. Fight's lost then for Order. They start to back away. No point for Jordation to invest Transcendence there either. There's a good defense again here from Athletico. Nicely done. But they don't have anything left. They have got absolutely nothing left in the back pocket. Okay, maybe the self-destruct Graviton Surge combo, but Transcendence is there for Order. Quants is going to have the Shatter down shortly as well. There's a lot to work with for Order in this next fight. If Athletico wins, it's going to be, well, not a miracle, but it'll be a very good fight from them. It's going to be difficult, that's for sure. Looking for an Earth Shatter to come through. No one really knocked out their Transcendence for Jordation. Self-destruct from Zol again. Finds Unted. That's not an awful pick. They need to follow it up with one more, however. That would really seal the deal here for Athletico. Oh, he doesn't have grab anymore. He's dead. Oh, wow. 99%. Well done. Well, great the timing very good there from, I don't know who ended up getting the kill onto him. I forgot to check, but it doesn't matter. Very good for Athletico, and that actually is the economic fight win that they needed. I think it actually came out from 4 with the hammer, maybe. Yeah. Look, interestingly enough, Jordan, it kind of feels to me that those control point rounds went so quickly that Athletico never really had enough time to catch up. Yep. And this is the first opportunity where there's been enough time in a map where they've had enough time to get those ultimates up where they need to be, and they can now actually start using them. Yeah, actually, I mean, I agree. Athletico have looked better on the defense here than they have throughout this entire series thus far, and it's a real chance now for them. Grab out again early from Athletico. 2 double grabs into the middle as well. Now who can do the damage? Adam with the self-destruct, but Zol finds 2 for Adam's 1. So every pick so far, every ultimate use seems to be going just a little bit now in Athletico's favour, Jordan. What started off with a huge amount of time for Order to get to the second checkpoint now sees us with about 70 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, that's really important to be able to get the value out of those ultimates that you have for Athletico. But once again, we've seen that table turn just a little bit, okay? It was initially Order that had the ult economy advantage, then Athletico. Now we're looking back toward Order with a Transcendence, with a Shatter. I mean, Grav and Self-Destruct are quite far away for both of those teams. Really, the only thing that Athletico are going to have in this fight is a rally, maybe a Grav if ATAR charges it very quickly.
Oh, Quats gets a bit of damage down. The shield badge comes through, also healed back up, however. There's not much here for Athletico to work with, but ATAR is getting closer to a Graviton Surge. Quats gets knocked out and knocked down. 4 goes down as well. It's 1 for 1s, but we've also seen one of the Divas demeched. Grav comes through. Can they follow up with damage? Sign down to Zol. Zol finds another. This is great work. ATAR comes through as well. Another fight win for Athletico. 15 seconds on the clock. Could Athletico hold them before the second checkpoint?
I think they will. It's going to be difficult for Order to get the touch, and even if they do, it's probably going to be, what, Unter? I mean, looking at the map right now, probably it's going to be Adam with that Diva to actually get on. But he's not going to last too long.
Yeah.
The DMAC will come out straight away, so that's almost essentially a player down before the fight starts.
Self-destruct, up on top, balls down now. The shield is up, holding strong. Grab comes through, countered by the Transcendence. Quats picked up here. Athletico should be able to hold this out, Jordan, and considering what we've been seeing from them recently, this is their best opportunity in quite some time.
Yeah, most definitely a very solid defense there from Athletico, and what a turnaround from what we saw on Lijiang Tower. You have to give them credit for that. You know, we were sort of already sort of doom and gloom talking about how this is probably over.
Well, Lijiang was awful, wasn't it?
Well, it wasn't great. I'll give you that.
So this is much better. And I would be very excited if we go into halftime with 1 map apiece, particularly in this fashion.
Well, but the thing is, though, Ben, like, yeah, sure. Great job on the defense from Athletico. But that's only half the story.
Here comes the doom and gloom.
Well, it's only half the story, and we know Order is generally pretty good on the defense as well. So I'm not prepared to sell it just yet. Look, that's great from Athletico. It's given them a very achievable target. But if Athletico can hold Order there, my brain says Order can hold Athletico there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but at the same time, in those fights, many of those fights started with Order having the advantage, yet they weren't able to use the ultimates that they had that Athletico did not have in a way that allowed them to get through point B. And that surprises me. And we talked about how consistency is so important when you're playing mirror match GOATs. And, you know, we indicated that we thought that Order certainly should be more consistent than Athletico has been.
It does surprise me.
It's been that way for a while, but just then that was not the case.
I would have thought with 4 minutes on the clock, Order would have had plenty of time to build those ults up that they needed to get a solid fight. Any number of those fights could have potentially gone their way, but Athletico repelled them again and again and again. Looks like for Athletico, they are going to be going for that triple DPS setup, or double DPS setup in this case, I suppose, but more of a dive kind of a situation here with ATAR playing the Pharah D field onto the Sombra, so
we're ready
2 comfort choices for whose respective DPS players.
We talked about it, didn't we? Should they play something other than GOATs? And now they have the safety of the attacker's spawn and the ability to change off should it be required. Let's see if they can make this work. ATAR going to get forced back there by Adam on the Diva. Now Adam going to get forced back down to the point.
Yeah, Adam doing pretty good work there. Just needs to make sure that he doesn't get demurked, because that's really going to give ATAR so much room to breathe. Quat's under a lot of pressure, but the dive comes in from Unter and Adam.
Yeah, both players now coming through. Goobs, though, we'll find Unter here. Now here's the barrage, ready and available. What's ATAR going to do? Well, get caught out by Adam.
Question is, where is Eevee? Is this res going to be possible? Doesn't look like it. So Athletico will just back up a little bit. That gives Order plenty of time to reset themselves. Eevee gets staggered as well.
Oh no, D-Field almost goes down, as you said, Jordan. Eevee getting picked up also. So Athletico just playing this out a little bit messier perhaps than what we saw from their standard GOATs.
Well,
They need to make this work.
I think they had the opportunity that they needed. Jordation also finding D-Field at the back there with a headshot. Nicely done. That'll mean Athletico has to back away again. I feel like Athletico actually had the opportunity there with the pick onto Unter, and then sort of the positioning seemed a little bit odd from Athletico, and they had to back away, and then they lost a couple of players late in the fight, and now the momentum is really sort of just slowed down for Athletico, where they were putting Order under a lot of pressure. EMP is available now for D-Field, so this could be the tipping point.
Waiting for them to come back at all.
Oh, nice trans.
Just as the EMP comes through, the Transcendence, however, does come out. Aita wants to hold off this barrage as well until a more suitable time. The question is, what time will that be? With 4 going down, I guess the answer is not now. And they regroup to try again, but they've already lost half their time here, Jordan.
Very, very nice Transcendence from Jordation. That may have been enough to keep them through the fight. Like, if he would have not been able to get that Transcendence off, I think you probably give that one to Athletico. Look at how little Order actually used in that fight, though, and how much Athletico
And Athletico
did.
swapped off, Jordan. And we didn't see that barrage come through at all, did we? Did I miss it?
I didn't hear it.
I don't think it did. So this is a pretty big call. 80 seconds now on the clock. Atletico behind, of course, on this GOATS lineup order with all of the advantage for D-Field. Aita all found out. Oh, man. What looked to be the best opportunity that Atletico has had in a little while to find themselves a map is slowly, well, I guess now quickly, slipping away.
Well, that's why you can't call it before you see the second half, unfortunately, for Athletico. The defense, it was great, but it absolutely means nothing right now if they can't push through point A. And I don't know if they've swapped off early enough to give themselves a great opportunity to build these ultimates. Zol, of course, has his because he didn't need to. But for the rest of Athletico, they're sitting at about 30%, and they're probably not going to get the ult in the fight. And if they do, it might be too little too late.
Well, the self-destruct will come through, but it's Order who finds the damage on the back of Sign's Graviton Surge. Hunters also use the sound barrier, dropping the beat. Still 3 ultimates now, 4 available for Order with 20 seconds on the clock. And then she said, Jordan, it's looking more and more like Atletico will not be able to get this into the second phase. Going to get stopped a little bit short here on the first objective.
They can't even get out of their spawn.
No.
They're being spawn camped right now. There's going to be a wrecking ball in here, but I don't even know if Zol's going to be able to make it to the point. Doesn't look like he will. So this will be another map on the board for Order. And for all the praise that we can give Atletico for their defensive side there, which, yes, they deserve.
Yeah.
They aren't going to be getting any for that attacking side, and it's all going to go the way of Order, which, in the end, means it's 2-0.
I want to praise them for coming up with a bit of a, I say different team comp, but
I mean,
not
we've
really
seen it before.
different.
It's not like
really.
they didn't come up with it.
No.
Let's not get that
Coming
far.
out with something, having the guts to not play GOATS,
Yeah.
but then it didn't work out. And
No.
she
I
said
mean,
maybe they didn't swap off soon enough. I think from the result that we saw, they didn't manage to get their ultimates out in time, right? Then they probably didn't swap off soon enough.
That's correct, yeah, I guess. But it's easy to say in hindsight. I think that DPS composition kind of was working in a sense for Atletico. They just didn't quite manage to take that fight cleanly enough, right, if that makes sense. They had opportunities. There was openings at the very least, but they weren't able to execute it. And that's going to be something that I think for teams like Atletico is going to be a real problem. Like, if the GOATS comp is not working, if the strategy that you're not working isn't working, if the strategy that you've been practicing isn't working, there we go, and you are forced to swap off, and sometimes then you're going to see some execution issues start to creep in because you're not as practiced with that kind of a composition. You don't have those defaults sort of set up quite as nicely. So that, I think, is where it sort of just fell apart a little bit for Atletico. Like, while they looked good, while the individuals seemed good, the cohesion wasn't quite there for Atletico when they were playing that DPS sort of dive composition. And then, of course, Jordation with the Transcendence sort of just put it in the bin as well.
Yeah, it's,
like
it's just a matter of half a second, not even that. Very close. Could have been a different story if the EMP had hit the Zenyatta, that's for sure. But already now, Order are 2-0 up against Atletico. I feel like we only just started the broadcast, yet here we are at half-time in the first map.
Did you expect anything else, though?
I hoped, but
I would have thought that after 3.5 seasons of Overwatch Contenders, you would have lost hope in that case.
No, I come in with a full heart to every broadcast, Jordan.
I have to be the cynical one in this case.
I'm ready to give my love to the teams in Contenders Australia.
I'm not so sure that they would particularly want that, if I'm honest, Ben.
Oh, okay. All right, well, that's half-time between Order and Athletico. We're going to take a very quick break. When we come back, more Overwatch Contenders action. We'll see you soon.